Welcome back to the channel, golfers. Today's round is one of the most mentally taxing rounds I've played since I started golf, and it's all down to the British winter weather. Me and Woody are down at Oulton Golf Course playing holes 19 to 27 and then 1 to 9. However, as you will soon see, the greens were pretty much frozen and the surrounding grounds were very damp and boggy. This is the closest I've ever come to not finishing a round of golf, but like I was on the day, you'll be rewarded if you stick around to the end. So let's jump over to the first tee. So we start on the first hole then, which is hole number 19, and this is a 327 yard par 4 with a slight bend round to the right. There's one or two bunkers up near the green, but just looking to cut this drive over the corner, which I managed to do quite nicely. It does open up quite a lot round the bend, so you have to hit quite a bad one to lose your ball. This leaves me 120 in, so I'm hitting P-wedge here, scared of the frozen ground and it bouncing too far. Unfortunately, I just end up leaving this one 10 or 20 yards short, which means I'm chipping on with my wedge, and this bounces and rolls round like a crazy golf course, as Woody describes it. You can see it's affecting all parts of the game really, the frozen ground. Woody struggling with the putt there, me with a putt for par, and not able to drop that one. It rolled quite well. They get much worse than this, and I'm able to clean that up and finish the first hole with a respectable bogey.
Yeah, never par it.
The second then is the first par 5. Hitting driver here just down to sort of a halfway ditch up near the bunker on the left. This has gone quite well. Not really full swinging at that. That's left me 300 yards in. So just hitting 3 hybrid up to the next section of the fairway, and then looking to give myself a shot onto the green. So everything's gone to plan so far. This leaves me 125 in, which is a usual 9-iron, but I've thinned this one luckily right between the two front greenside bunkers, which has left me chipping onto the green. I'm quite a way away here, got a lot of green to work with. And just not knowing how these greens were going to respond, you can hear how hard the ball bounces on them. The ball died a bit, and it's left me a long putt for par. It's a slower roll than I was expecting, and the tidy up putt's not a good one, and means that I have to finish this hole for a double bogey. But reading these greens is really difficult because the ball's bouncing off every little imperfection on the green. The third then is another par 5, back down the first par 5 we've just played, and I catch this drive much better, but unfortunately I pulled it a little left and ended up in the rough. So just hitting an 8-iron back out into the fairway, trying to give me a look round the corner down towards the green, which I've managed to do. This has left me hitting 3 wood down towards the green, and it's a really good shot this, it's just a little bit right distance and everything. But like I say, just to the right of the green, so that's left me chipping on. Again, absolutely no confidence over these shots because I've got no idea what the greens are going to do. And this time it's speed boosted and straight off the other side of the green. So I'm chipping back on now, and that's not dreadful. Gives me a putt for a bogey. But again, these greens, they're just so difficult to put on, and again I've had to come off for a second double bogey. The fourth then is a fairly straight par 4, 384 yards, and again I've hit another good drive. Driver really behaving itself today. A little bit too far right. It's just caught the overhanging tree here, and means that the 8-iron that I've taken here has to be a low one, but not that low. And this actually ends up winding up in the ditch before the green.
Could be in the ditch.
Wah, wah, wah. So this means I have to take a drop, and now I'm chipping onto the green. But again, absolutely petrified of how the ball's going to react near the green, so I'm now leaving these chips short. So it took me 6 shots to get to the green, and still I can't clean this up in one. And my frustration levels are getting to me now. Woody gave me the tap-in, even though my tap-in attempt was terrible. Hole 5 then is another par 4. This one bends a little bit round to the right. and luckily I've just ended up short of the bunker on the right hand side of the fairway there. But this is a silly club choice. I've hit a 6-iron from about 160 yards away, and I knew there was a front greenside bunker, and as soon as I hit the shot I knew I was in it. This isn't a bad effort though. It bounces a little bit hard off the frozen greens and ends up on the back fringe, but that's left me chipping back towards the pin. Looking to make a 6-foot putt at least once in this round. And I actually think I had the line this time, but just not enough power. And so that means I come off with another double bogey. No problem for Woody though. He drops it from 8 or 10 feet there. The 6th then is back down the hill, another par 4. This one's got some water just before the green, so the play is literally just to lay up before that. I've never ever reached the water before, and even with the frozen ground and the extra roll with the ball, I've not got there. This has left me 112 into the green. As Woody says, this was all over it, but as soon as it hits that green, it's trampolining off the back.
Woody's just had to take a drop because he hit his first ball in the centre of the lake there. It's absolutely frozen solid. Good shot that second one though.
Cheers, mate.
Woody having lake trouble. But this leaves me chipping back towards the pin from the back of the green. And again, I just can't get these chips right. I don't know how the ball's going to roll on them, whether it's going to speed bounce off it or whether it's just going to die. And on this occasion it died. And you can see it's knocked my putting confidence as well. It really shouldn't have taken me 3 putts to get it to the hole there, but unfortunately it has. And as Woody says, I have made a meal of it, and it's left me with yet another double bogey. The 7th then is a par 3, and this is shorter than normal as we're hitting off the winter tee. Great tee shot here, right into the centre of the green. And as Woody's letting you know there, we're off the back of the green.
And runs off the back.
So chipping back again towards the pin. Let's see if I can get this chip any better than the last ones. It's a little better. It's definitely not a tap-in. Chance for par then. And you're really going to need some luck to hole a putt from this sort of distance on conditions like this, just because the greens are so unreadable. And it means that I end up tapping in for another bogey, actually only the 2nd of the day. Hole 8 then is quite a long par 4, 443 yards, and the one place you don't really want to go is over on that right hand side, because it means you haven't got a line down the rest of the fairway. So I'm having to hit a 7-iron here across the fairway, and I actually catch this a little bit better than I thought I was going to. And it just clings on. So it leaves me a wedge over this tree into the green. And again, not wanting to land a high shot onto this green and watch it bounce off, I've ended up leaving this one short. This is probably the best approach chip from the green side though that I've played all day. It gives me a realistic chance of making the putt. But it lips out and means that I have to tidy up for yet another double bogey on this front 9. Woody cleaning up nicely too. Just about. The 9th then is a par 3, 170 yards. So it's quite a long one, this one. I'm just hitting 5-iron here up towards the green. I just miss on the left hand side though. Gives me a chip on. And the pin's at the front edge of that green there, so there's not much room to work with.
Tried to flop it.
And I've ended up chipping this short. And then chipping it short again. And this has left me a longish putt on horrible greens, which I've then overcooked, having undercooked 2 shots. And means, again, I come off with another double bogey.
5.
So halfway through, I've carded a score of 53. That's 17 over par on the front 9 alone. The greens are pretty much unreadable in these conditions, and it's considerably more difficult than normal getting even short approach shots to stay on them. At this point, all I am genuinely aiming to do is beat my front 9 score on the back 9, so let's see how I get on. Hole 10 then, this is actually hole 1 down at the course, but it's 392 yard par 4 with a big dog left turn to the left. So you're just looking to get your drive up towards that corner and give you a look down towards the green, which I've just about managed, and gives me a 3-wood shot down towards the green. I've let this drift out to the right though, and as Woody tells us, it did get a nice kick off the tree and leaves me chipping onto the green. And this one's much better. It actually comes close to dropping in the hole. But I've got an uncharacteristic par luck on this round. And he's dropped one. And you might not be able to hear what I'm saying there, but it actually bounced off a rock. It was missing, hit a rock, and then diverted into the hole, so finally a bit of luck. Hole 11 then is a short par 3, 122 yards. It's usually a pretty easy hole, this one, but again I've hit the green and it's bounced off. This has left me a 50-degree wedge chip towards the pin. I didn't hit this one hard enough, leaves me a longish par putt. Never really looks at dropping, and means I can tidy up for a bogey. A much better start.
Yeah, because as good as this setup is, and it does produce good videos, you want a proper camera, don't you?
Woody criticising my equipment there. Hole 12 then, this one's a tough hole, made even harder by the terrible tee box. And that's not a good drive. So 3 off the tee, and this time I've managed to get it up and over the danger in front of the tee box.
Honestly, mate, look.
And it means I've got a 3-wood now, hitting down towards the green, and this has gone quite well. Short, but gone quite well. And this leaves me chipping towards the green for shot number 5, which I thin very badly. But luckily, it's not horrendous. Means I can chip off the back fringe. And you can hear the bounce as the ball hits the green. You've got no idea where it's going. Some cheeky antics going on this green. Not sure if you spotted them. But this is how fed up I am now. I'm putting with the wedge. I couldn't be bothered to go get the putter. I didn't think there was any need to do so. Woody taps that in. And again, hitting towards the hole with the wedge. I nearly dropped one. But it's a really disappointing hole, this. I really had to sort of take a breather after this hole because my head was going. And I carded a 9.
It is, isn't it?
Hole 13 then is another longish par 4, 429 yards. Again, what you want to do is get your drive down to the corner so you've got a look at the green. I just about did this, just avoiding the bunker. Looking to lay up before the ditch in front of the green. And I thinned this 7-iron. And as Woody consoles me, it was a layup. Just means I've got a longer shot into the green. So again, I'm hitting 7-iron into the green. And this time I get a nice bounce. It was missing to the left-hand side and it took a big bounce right onto the green. But this is what we found when we got there.
I don't even know what hole we're on. That's exactly what you think it is. That's the pin. £30 we've paid for that. Have a word, lads.
I didn't think I could see a pin from the approach shot, and it was confirmed when I got there. And if you watch this ball from this putt, it takes about 3 diversions to the right as it's bouncing off frozen ground and debris on the greens. They're really not in a good condition. And again it's bouncing to the left this time and dodges the hole, and means I come off with a double bogey. What can Woody do on these greens? Of course he drops it. I'm just making sure he puts the pin back in the hole. Hole 14 then is a shortish par 4, 340 yards. It does bend slightly around to the right, so the target really is that tree in the centre of the fairway. And I've managed to get past it this time. This has left me 124 yards into the green. Again, no pin visible, so I'm just sort of aiming towards the green in a general direction, and it ends up on the right hand side.
So approach shot was like 120 down there. This is the second hole in a row with no pin. We don't even get a twig this time. Absolutely nothing. Woody was just over there, probably about 70 yards away, and the unthinkable's happened, hasn't it, mate?
I hate to say it, but
The unthinkable.
the chipper
Oh, R.I.P. the chipper.
is no more.
Look at that. Absolutely
Clean off.
sheared off. Oh dear, you won't focus on it. Oh dear.
So I've got my balls out, I would usually
I mean, that's chipper territory all day, that, isn't it?
chip this in from there,
You would.
but
You would. I might even have to play that clip, mate, just in memory of that club. He's got the infamous chipper out.
get in. Get me on that PGA tour, come on, get in. Chipper's gone.
He's thrown on the ball.
We've had some good memories.
Will it be replaced though? That's what the fans are asking.
Tune in and find out.
So, putting for birdie for the first time today. It's not dreadful, but it never had a look at dropping, and should mean that I've got an easy par, second of the day. But these greens had other ideas. Everything went straight on this day, apart from this putt that hooked right, and Woody trying to not compile the misery and keeping quiet. Hole 15 then is a 170 yard par 3. This time I'm hitting 3 hybrid up towards the green, and it's a good distance. It's just gone a little bit left and leaves me chipping to yet another green with no pin. And what you can't see is that actually came pretty close.
Oh my word.
And leaves me a tap in. This time I do get the second par of the day.
Only the second par of the day.
At least that put us at a par today.
The 16th then is the last par 5, and unfortunately I top this drive straight to the safety nets on the left hand side.
We're losing, lad.
This is leaving me a 3-wood out. It's probably the wrong club this. I should have hit something like a 7 iron to give me a better look, because I've hit this 3-wood a little bit too far towards the trees, but I got lucky and still have a line. So it's another 3-wood down the fairway towards the green, and this is a much better shot. It leaves me about 50 yards into the green. Bunker in front of me though, and that means only one thing. Straight in the bunker. Now this is a really difficult one to get out. It's very tall, you can see it's almost as tall as me. And it doesn't help when you blade the ball straight into the side of them. Luckily it's bounced out and green side. It's left me chipping towards the pin. This time the ball's run quite a bit and left me with a tricky putt. But again, almost impossible on these greens, and means I come off this par 5 with a triple bogey. A shame after the par before it. Hole 17 then is a 380 yard par 4. You're just looking to keep the ball left of the tree on the right there, and probably right of that bunker is what I was aiming for, but I've ended up to the left hand side of it. It hasn't hurt me too much, apart from the trees sort of preventing me from going at a normal height, so I've just punched a 4 iron down towards the green. And this hasn't gone dreadfully, left me chipping green side. And I'm hoping that this ball is going to roll some, and it does okay. And leaves me with another putt for par, which sort of comes close. And I do get the bogey this time, so this back 9 looking a lot better than that front 9. The 18th then is a 330 yard par 4 to finish. It felt a great drive this, but it was actually darker than the footage suggests it was. And as soon as it got halfway, I'd lost it. Found it in the bunker though. I nearly put it straight in another bunker. So this has left me chipping on for shot 3. And I've never seen a ball bounce like that on a green.
It was like it hit a paving slab.
It's left me greenside chipping for shot number 4. Looking to take a 60 wedge so it doesn't roll too far. And I certainly wasn't expecting that. Shot of the day. Whether I meant it or not, that's up for debate. But it was so good, I think we need to see a replay. Couple of practice swings. Looking to just catch the front edge of the green. And instead what I do is blade the ball into the pin and drop it for a par. And with a closing score of 48 on the back 9, I've managed to beat my front 9 score even with carding a 9 on the 12th hole. That gives me a total score of 101, which is 30 over par. I honestly can't remember scoring this highly, but the conditions we played in means that the score means very little. Me and Woody still enjoyed being out on the course, even if it did cost him his beloved chipper. And the chipping at the end was just a bonus. What's the worst conditions you've played in golfers? Let me know in the comments below. I'll pop up the playlist cards for more course vlogs, in much better conditions than today, and our 4-hole matches if you want to watch more. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.